New this hour, he built NBA champions on the court and then faced his toughest challenges off the court. Now DC basketball legend Curtis Malone is turning his life into lessons for the next generation. After co-founding the DC Assault basketball program, he's sharing his journey of redemption in a new memoir, Duplicity: Basketball, Drugs, and My Double Life. He joins us in studio to talk about his second chance and inspiring others. Good morning to you. Thank you for coming in and sharing your story. Now, Curtis, your story is deeply tied to DC basketball and this community because DC Assault was the legitimate thing with basketball back in the day. You produced a lot of basketball stars in your time. Some of them, Nolan Smith, who is now the coach at Tennessee State, I believe. And there's just like Quinn Cook. So you were very successful at running your DC Assault program.
Yes. We had a lot of kids come through the program, and it actually changed a lot of lives, and that was our reason for starting it, was to change lives, and it did well.
Right. Were you surprised at the success that you had from starting a travel AAU basketball team at the time?
Yes. Yes.
Why so?
Well, because when we first got into it, it was only to get kids into Catholic schools, to get them a better education. But then when we started the program, I mean, it took off. College coaches in the gym every week recruiting kids, and we like, wow, we weren't expecting it to be that big, so it grew.
It grew and it turned into this whole, even I wasn't even here and I knew about DC Assault all over the country. So let's talk about the dark turn.
Okay.
At what point did it take the turn when it went from basketball to something else that landed you in trouble?
Well, it became a rough patch where financially things started to get a little rough for me. And looking back now, nothing really is that rough that you have to make those decisions. But for me, I think it was just a time financially, and I dipped back into something I had no business doing, you know, and ended up getting my hand caught in a cookie jar.
Right. And that led to you going to prison?
Yes, federal prison for 7 years. Was sentenced to almost 9 years in prison.
Right. What is the lesson? Now, you've written a book about this, about your journey, and from basketball to prison and then back out again. What is the lesson? Obviously, it sounds pretty clear, cut dry, but what is the lesson you want people to take away from this once they read your story and hear about your story?
Well, the biggest lesson for me, I think, is there's no shortcuts in life. Fast money, the wrong crowd, you know, being a follower, it doesn't end up the right way. You know, so keeping focus regardless of how bad things may seem, you can continue on the right path, you know, to do the right thing.
Right. And you're also using your platform and your second chance. You're doing speaking and mentorship. What's been the response so far from people who have heard your story? I mean, they know Curtis Malone, the basketball guy, and this part of the story, but the road to redemption. What's been the response from people?
It's been very good, man. I believe that I've had more people come into my life that I didn't know, and they enjoyed and they respect the story so much that I had a lot of people helping me that I didn't even expect to help me, and actually helped me more than a lot of the people that I expected to help me. So it's been very, very positive. Right.
And young people, do they hear the message? Because we know how young people are. They're a little tough to talk to sometimes.
Yeah, well, some of them do, but most of them, you know, it's a process, you know. Going back, speaking to the kids, I try to as much as possible, but it's a process. But I think most of them get it when they do their research, and their dad and mom say, "Oh, that's Curtis Malone." Right. You know, he started all of this in the area. You know, the takeover guys, the teams. You know, all of them were with DC Assault.
Right. What's next for Curtis Malone now? We know we got the book, and we got any more basketball in our future?
Yeah, we do. I've just started DC Assault back. We are coming back. We're with New Balance now. We have some good brothers from out of DC who run New Balance, and they gave me a chance, and they wanted to see DC Assault back.
Right.
So that's what's going on right now.
All right, and people can get the book anywhere they sell books, or
on Amazon, and then you can go on to Barnes and Nobles and get the book. So it's available online right now.
Okay. All right, Curtis Malone, thank you very much for sharing your story.
Thanks.
Hopefully it'll change some lives.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate
All right.
You. Thank you.